Just started screaming.
We're good?
Screaming now.
On Facebook? Okay, it's all right. Okay.
Can you hear me, Nancy?
Yes, I can, John. Yeah.
Okay.
We're already set up on Facebook, so we're streaming right now. So just be aware that we're streaming and recording. So we'll just wait for the last 8 minutes to join in, and then we can start.
Are you ready to go, Nancy? Everybody on?
Yeah, but it's only 8:54, so we have to wait a few more minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And
And
you
everyone,
got my memo about that sign? The date on the lawyer's letter?
the Brat Road one?
Yes.
All right.
Didn't even notice the date. 1 second. February 5th?
Did you take my pen?
It said the sign was taken down in December 2019,
Yeah.
and the sign was still there on November 20th, 2020.
Well, apparently it has been taken down now. At least I think that's what someone told me.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is in fact the case. And they've also asked that our technician remove Brat Road from the mapping system.
Yes.
So it'll officially not be considered anything other than a private road.
Forget the online so early. I'd rather do that than not at all.
That's true. Thanks.
Okay. I can turn this down a little bit so we can down a little bit.
We're just waiting on 2 more committee members.
So which one turns it forward?
John Andrews is there on the phone.
Oh, okay, John, you're here. Great. Just waiting for 1 more committee member then.
Morning, John.
Morning, Ian. How are you?
Good, thanks.
You can't see it.
I guess so.
Well, the good news, committee members, is that it looks like the next meeting we have may be able to be in person, sounds like. So that's a positive step if things continue to go well. So Dennis is on as well. Good morning, Dennis.
Morning, Dennis.
I'm here over the council chambers.
Muted.
So for anyone that's on this WebEx this morning, that's an applicant for an application coming up. If I can ask you to just turn off your camera and your mic, For the first little bit, we're going to be talking about committee stuff. So it's probably just best if you just hang out, so to speak, and wait until we call upon you starting at 9:30. So.
That's just for other people that are phoning in.
All right, Nancy?
It is 8:59. I think we can probably start if we'd like to.
Okay, good day to everybody. Good morning, and hope you've had a good few days in this winter's weather. First thing we have is the approval of the minutes from January 27th, 2021.
Any issues with anything?
Any errors or omissions?
I'll make a motion they be approved as presented.
Moved by Rosemary,
I'll second.
second by John Selden.
Take a vote. John Andrews,
Yes.
Ian Fleck,
Yes.
Dennis O'Grady,
Mute.
Dennis, you're on mute.
Yep, sorry, no, didn't hit it hard enough.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, I agreed.
Thanks. Rosemary Kennedy,
Yes.
John Selden,
Yes.
Jack Van Castren,
Yes.
Doug Aldred.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Next item is the letter from the municipality of Dunwoody 3 Bratt Road. Are there any concerns?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, through you,
Yes?
Nancy, I don't understand, in the letter, it indicates that now all that property I'm sorry, I don't have the gentleman's name in front of me, belongs to that individual. Was he claiming that in any way, or does he just now realize he owns all that property because it's no longer considered a county road?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. From what I understand, Mr. Zettler's always owned those lands. And that's what the lawyer is contending, that they've done a title search and that Zettler has always owned what has been considered to be previously the roadway. That's what this lawyer has indicated, at least, that they've done the title search. And that road is officially owned by Mr. Zettler.
Did Mr. Zettler object before this was established?
No?
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, he actually was the one to offer the applicant that needed the access from that laneway. He
Yes.
was the one to make that application for under his name, so he did not object to that.
Okay. It
Mr.
just seemed odd to
Chairman,
me.
No,
Sorry, Mr.
nobody's
Chairman.
upset. They're all glad to see it straightened out. That was put in back 50 years ago or 40 years ago when they had a small gravel pit back there, and the previous owner let them put a roadway in there to get the gravel out.
Gotcha.
I guess my concern is, why did they make the people that applied get all their addresses in Bratt Road and then now have to change it?
Good point.
Good point. Through you, Mr. Chair, good point.
That's not an easy process.
No, I
it's
know.
not. But
Yeah.
it all started, my understanding, with the building permit. And that name was there, and everybody referred to it for years as Bratt Road. It's not that.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Dennis O'Grady here. Yeah, it's just, the lawyer was told what to say. You can see at the end of his second paragraph, he says, "It is my opinion that the lands are not a municipal road." A real lawyer would have given evidence, would have shown, abandonment of the road, would have given something. All he said, my opinion. I have nothing to back it up. It's just my opinion. So he was told what to say.
Any further discussion? So we need a motion on that one to accept it, or?
I don't think so. I think it's just under communications general.
Yes.
So,
That's fine. Yes, I agree.
okay.
So the next item is,
So a background music.
Yep, that's the notice for the County of Elgin 5-year official plan review. I just wanted committee members to be aware. The meeting is tomorrow night. If you're interested in viewing the meeting, there's a Facebook live stream that if you'd like the link, let me know. I can send it to you. Otherwise, if you follow the County of Elgin on Facebook, you'll see that it's live streams under their homepage. So if you're interested, please do attend. Listen to some of the delegates that are speaking, and as well, it could inform some of the discussions potentially that Land Division Committee could have with respect to some comments they may want to provide on the official plan review and things to look at or review as well as part of that process.
Nancy,
Mhm.
will it be available later? I have another meeting tomorrow night and I just wondered, is it available later to watch?
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Those Facebook videos are stored basically, so you can go back to that webpage anytime and
Okay,
stream the meeting. Mhm.
perfect.
I'll be doing the same, Nancy.
No problem. So it brings up a good point too. When do you all, perhaps I could put it on the agenda for the next meeting? Maybe we could have a 15 or 20-minute discussion about the official plan review, and if there's anything that the committee wants to consider as a committee, adding comments to or about, we could talk about something like that as well. So
I think that would be a good idea myself, but what's the rest of the committee feel?
I agree.
I agree.
Yes,
Yep.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, I agree as well. Nancy, I'd like to see a little bit of discussion about how we're going to be involved in the future, a little bit more specifics, not just a general you'll be talked to, but we know from the original report we weren't talked to. So I'd certainly like to have it out early to whomever that we do want to be consulted with, and that we set aside enough time, or the county set enough time, so that we're not just some special interest group viewed as some special interest group.
So just so you know, the process is just starting, so the public participation component is occurring tomorrow night. And at this time, we're soliciting comments from the general public. One of the components of that is that I will be meeting with various stakeholders to discuss the official plan review and solicit any comments on the direction or things to review as part of that official plan review. So this would be that sort of thing that I would be doing at the next meeting, is I would give you my normal presentation that I'm giving to all stakeholders. And then at that time, we could have that discussion about what the committee wants to see in terms of the official plan review as well. And we could talk a bit about communication and next steps and that sort of thing as well. So.
Any further comments on that item? Okay, can we have that on the next meeting then, Nancy?
Will do. Thanks.
Just, are you talking of having for the next meeting, just an update of what they said at that meeting?
No, I was actually going to do the presentation that I would normally do for, like I said, the stakeholders.
Okay,
And we could have a discussion about the current official plan and any shortcomings or any things that need to be reviewed as part of our process.
yes, that's good. That's very good.
Okay. So this next item is an act to amend the Planning Act. So from what I understand, Bill 88 was introduced several years ago, but it was in committee and had not advanced any farther. Apparently what it does is it changes some of those particulars in the Planning Act with respect to the, those issues we have with the 1 foot reserves, the 1 foot by 1 foot squares, the once a severance, always a severance. It sounds like those are all going to be changed to allow for future consents, things like that. I'm to be fair, I haven't read through the legislation and I'm not up on it, but I'm wondering if you're interested, there's a lot of background on this as well on the the legislative webpage. So I've put some of this information on there. If you'd like, we can also have a discussion about this on the next committee meeting. I just wanted to flag it for everyone for their own interest. And I can see if I can find some sort of a summary that I can also put on here for the next time with respect to what those changes actually mean. So let me know your direction.
Okay. Everybody agree with that?
Sounds good.
Summary would be good.
Summary would be real good.
Yeah, because I see in here, there's one point is in regard to the situation we had where there was a death. And through all this legal jargon, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm really not 100% sure what the change is in regard to that. So I think
Agreed.
an
Agreed.
explanation would be really good here for our sake.
I'll see what I can find. Usually, lawyer's office will post their interpretation of what these changes mean. So I'll see if I can find something like that. I'll also maybe contact our lawyer that deals with the Land Division Committee and see if he has anything he can add on that. But I did have a brief conversation with him, but he seemed to indicate that some of those changes were things that a lot of people had been looking for, like that, the automatic merging and things like that, which I know have caused a lot of issues in the past. So, yeah, I'll get some clarification on that.
Okay, just one other thing, Nancy. We have one more in Dunwich has happened in the last year. A family bought a farm, but it was in the son's name, which the name's the same as the father. And the father owned the 50 acres in front and the 50 acres at the side of it. Now it's all joined together.
Yeah.
Oh, there's-
Yeah, and from what I understand, that's why Bill 88 had come forward, is because of these issues that have resulted over the last 20-some years based on the Planning Act language and the way properties merge. The legislation, like I said, it was introduced, I think, in 2019. It just hasn't gone anywhere because I don't think it was necessarily a priority for the government, but it has recently gotten second or third reading, I believe. So it's on its way to being considered. So I was aware of it actually because I got an email from, I think it was AMCTO or one of those associations, letting us know that there was momentum and it was moving towards committees. So it's not obviously adopted as yet, but it's probably on its way to that. So
Okay. Committee agree with this? We'll discuss it.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, yep.
great. Okay, so I think that's all the discussion items that I had. I don't know if committee members have anything else they'd like to discuss, because we do have a bit of time now before our first official item.
To Nancy, about that planning videos that they've got, what I'm humming and hawing, it's a lot of money. Is it more just intro planning or is there more detail in it than that?
The primer I'm planning, the one that I circulated yesterday?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never taken it, so I don't know what the level of detail is. Actually, Rosemary, you did, I believe, took it last year, correct? Or earlier this year. What did you think of it?
I thought it was more for counselors than it was for Land Division, because they did everything where we don't
Okay.
do a lot of stuff.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Dawn indicated that she's also taken it. What did you think of it, Dawn?
I thought it was, I agree with Rosemary in that sense. I found it to be great for me to learn the beginnings of the planning process. I'm not sure that there's as much that would be pertinent to the LDC as compared to someone that actually does planning or works within a municipality. I agree with Rosemary in that.
Yeah.
It's a great program, but not necessarily maybe the best one for LDC.
Okay. So there may be other, if you're interested, there may be other courses out there that, or perhaps more geared towards your interests or the specifics to the Land Division Committee. If anyone sees anything, please let me know, because obviously there's training and education as part of the component of the budget for LDC, and certainly any of you can avail of that budget as well. So It's always good to, if you'd like, if you're interested, to take those sessions if they're available. And as in terms of, oh, sorry, Ian.
Nancy, I just want, it's the end of April, we have to have our membership paid for the land division committees.
Yes, from what I understand, the last email that I had, I think it said April 30th, so end of April.
That's my understanding too.
Yes, so if anyone hasn't signed up but still would like to sign up, please let me know ASAP. You'll just need to sign up on your own and then send us the bill and we'll pay it out. Okay.
Nancy, I'm assuming the conference won't be held this spring. Is there any scuttlebutt on the fall one?
From what I understand, they're looking at pivoting to something online, so a virtual conference. I've attended a couple of virtual conferences. They have been pretty good, actually, considering. So I will let you know if I hear anything or see anything on the OACA website. Alternatively, if anyone sees anything, let me know. I think normally the conference would have been around this time, springtime, but obviously not. But I think I recall seeing that they were looking at a fall virtual conference. But I'll double check, and if anyone sees anything, let me know.
Mr. Chairman, may I add just a couple of quick comments?
Yes,
On conferences, a number of you may know that I worked on wastewater treatment. There is a conference coming up in November. And I'm planning on attending. So I think it's November 2nd or November 7th, anyway, in the first week of November. And it'll be an in-person meeting. Now, if things are bad, then no doubt they'll cancel it. But just to give you a feel for conferences coming back in, it's the first one in almost 2 years that I'm actually doing a presentation and attending. So I don't know how I don't know if everything from Land Division Committee will follow suit or set this up for Land Division, but I'm at least doing it in the wastewater field starting in November.
John, if you're doing a presentation, that's going to be an expensive venue then, right?
High price talent.
It's worth it because at the beginning of each meeting at this conference, they have donuts and coffee available.
What's that? We haven't had that ever.
Good one.
Oh, and just in case anyone didn't hear me, it's anticipated that for the March 24th meeting, we may be able to do in person, depending on if the numbers continue to trend well and they move us into a yellow. If that's the case, then we definitely can have an in-person meeting. So at this point, stay tuned. We'll operate under the assumption that we'll be in person, but obviously anything can change at any time. So luckily this WebEx, although not ideal, it's still working, thank goodness. So, but at this time, hopefully we'll be in a position to meet in person. And just so you know as well, we have posted for and received a lot of interest in a planning technician job posting at the county, which would also take over the land secretary treasurer for the committee of, sorry, for the Land Division Committee. So we are currently looking at those resumes and scheduling interviews. And so we may have some updates for you as of the March meeting in terms of if we've hired someone potentially. And then at that point, we'll slowly bring them in and get them acclimatized to you and acclimatized to the committee and get them taking on tasks, and then eventually they will be taking on that role.
okay, that's very good.
That's terrific.
Nancy, what was the main qualification? Was it a degree in planning or?
Correct, yeah. Yep, so for planning technician, we were looking at either a degree in planning or comparable. There's also, Fanshawe College offers a integrated land planning technologist. It's a degree, it's a hybrid degree diploma, which has a heavy a background in GIS and mapping, but also planning foundation as well, which is it's a good mix of those two uses. So we were looking at somebody who has a bit of experience as well, potentially with committees or other types of government committees would be great if they had backgrounds in that, and then generally some experience in planning as well. So, yeah. So Ian, just so you know, it's 9:18, so we
Yes.
have until 9:35 to start. So, at this time, we can, I'm not sure if we can mute, if there's a way to mute, but basically, we're still live streaming on Facebook, so if everyone wants to mute themselves for now until we start up again around 9:32, 33, that'd be great. Hey, Don, if I send you, so Jack Van Castro wants to do land use planning beyond the basics, he wants to sign up on, for it. It's with, AMO. If I send it to you, do you think you could sign him up?
I can try it.
Or just to? I think he said April 29th was his preferred option, so if you can try to sign him up, if you're having any issues, ask Carolyn.
Okay.
She's done it in the past. I sent it to her to do, but I think she's really, really busy right now, so if it's not too much trouble, see if you can
Oh, yeah, okay.
get Jack signed up. First time it's at 9:35.
I thought it was 9:30. 9:30.
Okay, everyone, it's 9:30. Ian, if you'd like, we can start that first amended decision. I think that's at 9:30, so. Ian, you're on mute. You're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, there you go. Yep, now we can hear you. Oh, no, you muted yourself again. Unmute. Yep, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Application E2320 for lot 24, or excuse me, lot 34, concession 1, Township of Malahide. Municipal address is 53233 Nova Scotia line, which is of a severance of a portion of the above mentioned premises as shown on a sketch attached to the application of a lot with a frontage of 62 meters, 203.41 feet revised along Nova Scotia line by a depth of 81 meters, 265.75 feet, and an area of 0.50 hectares, 1.23 acres revised, containing one house, carport, garage, and mobile home. Proposed to create one new lot surplus to the needs of the owner. The owners are retaining 53.11 hectares, 131.25 acres revised, proposed to remain in agriculture use. If applicants, agents, and interested parties who wish to speak to this application, please introduce themselves to the committee.
Yeah, Dave Furrow was the agent for this application. What happened was the sketch, which is attached, is a sketch that was reviewed by the committee. And what that sketch is actually 10 meters less frontage than what was shown on the front of the application. Basically, the front of the application didn't get amended. So what we're asking is the committee to amend the decision to reflect the application, the sketch that was circulated to the committee that the committee had originally approved. Because again, the frontage is 62 meters. The original sketch that we had done but not submitted had been 72 meters, but we lessened the size of the frontage and lessened the size of the lot. So this was what the committee had actually approved, but it wasn't reflected in the decision.
Any questions from the committee?
Through you, Mr. Chair.
John?
David, your letter requesting the change, your covering letter, was set up for 18 meters for depth. You've stated 18 instead of 81. Does that need to be changed just as a pro forma?
Yeah, it should be 81 meters in depth by 62 meters in frontage. Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought I should mention it.
Well, thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, just so you know, I did catch that, and I believe it's captured in the amended decision that you've got before you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, application.
Okay.
O'Grady.
Moved by O'Grady,
I'll second that.
second by Doug Aldred.
Okay. Okay, we'll take a vote.
Yes.
John Andrews,
Yes.
Ian Fleck,
Yes.
Dennis O'Grady,
Yes.
Rosemary Kennedy,
Yes.
John Sullivan,
Yes.
Jack Van Castren,
Yes,
Doug Aldred.
Yes,
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
The decision rendered today for this application will be circulated within 15 days after the notice. There is a 20-day appeal period from the giving of the notice of decision in which any person or public body may appeal the decision or any condition imposed. If no appeal is received within 20 days of the giving of the notice, the provisional consent becomes final. The applicant has 1 year to meet the conditions imposed and submit the necessary documents for certification, or the consent will lapse and a new application will be required. Please leave the identification signs in place until the appeal period ends, after which they can be removed. If you would like to be notified of today's decision, please request a copy of by contacting Nancy Pasto at npasto@algon.ca. A copy of the comment package is also available upon request. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ian, it's 9:35, so we can start the next item.
That's E821.
That's correct.
Application E821, part of lot 28, concession NTR, Municipality of Southwold. Municipal address is 37352 Fingal Line. Take notice an application is made by N. Amber Wadsworth, 39306 Talbot Line, St. Thomas. The applicants propose to sever a parcel with a frontage of 58.58 meters, 192.2 feet along Fingal Line by a depth of 71.95 meters / 79.36 meters, 236.06 feet / 260.35 feet, and an area of 0.44 hectares, 1.1 acres, containing an existing house. The owners are retaining 18.6 hectares, 46 acres proposed to remain in agricultural use. The applicants also propose to create an easement having a width of 58.58 meters, 192.2 feet by a depth of 6.1 meters, 20 feet, Proposed to provide access to hydro lines and poles in favor of the severed lands. Applicant's agent and interested parties who wish to speak to this application, please introduce themselves to the committee.
Andy Wadsworth.
Yes,
Just introducing myself.
any discussion by the members of the committee?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Dennis O'Grady. Just clarification on the drainage superintendent's comments, and everybody's busy, and those guys more so than most. And I'm looking at his comments, and it's on page 4 of the township planning report, and it talks about for this small little over 1 acre parcel that it requires reapportionment of 2 municipal drains and the requirement to create a third drainage instrument, a mutual agreement drain. And I'm not really understanding that. I can't imagine this 1 little acre having 2 municipal drain watersheds on it, and then an undrained portion requiring a mutual agreement drain. Can somebody explain to me what's going on with that, please?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I only have the comments that we have from Southwold Township, and they indicated that this is what was required. I see in the conditions that that a drainage reapportionment and payment thereof be required for the site. And then a mutual drain agreement be provided. So I can only assume that perhaps this is the location of this particular site happens to be affected by 2 drains and requires this reapportionment based on the township's superintendent of drainage. So at this time, they've asked for that condition. I'm not sure if Mr. Wadsworth has any background on that or not, but.
I know there's municipals running through the farmland. I don't know of any around that E8021.
Yeah, and that's my point. I certainly understand the majority of the farmland is going to have the municipal drains running through it. But the superintendent, like, what reapportionment? Again, it's reapportionment of 2 drains, so that lot can't have 2 drains running through it. No way. And then a mutual agreement drain, I don't understand that at all, because a mutual agreement drain cannot supersede a petition drain. And a mutual agreement drain is usually between 2 adjacent landowners. So here we've got the same landowner writing up their own mutual agreement drain. It's probably just awkward wording. And I know it's going to be in compliance with the Drainage Act. I'm not worried about that. But I just think, and I'm not going to object to the application by any stretch, but it just, imprecise wording like that just at some point could get the landowner or the future landowner in trouble. There is no need for a mutual agreement drain there. In my opinion, there's no benefit outlet. There's no benefit assessment for that 1 acre. It's all outlet. And for that 1 acre, what's an outlet assessment? $50, if that. So it just seems like, it's a probably just a standard clause it's put in. I understand that. But when it's not specific to the acreage we're talking about, it just could lead to some legal headaches. And so I just think that wording, Nancy, it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit tighter. You just can't throw in, Section 2 of the Drainage Act, Section 4 of the Drainage Act, reapportionment section of the Drainage Act, and expect us to understand all of that when doesn't appear to be a rationale for any of it.
Through you, Mr. Chair, because these comments come from the Township of Southwold, the only recourse we could have is to notify them that in the future, we'd like to see clear conditions with respect to municipal drainage, any conditions related to municipal drainage. Or the committee can choose to alter this wording if they choose.
No, because I'm not familiar enough with that particular area or what the farmer's done to it for drainage and all of that. And it could even be a subterranean tile that was a Section 4 drain. But no, I'm not worried about that. But just a little bit more specific to the property that we're dealing with would be helpful for me. I don't need rhyme and verse of the Drainage Act, but it's clear that this was just a general statement, and that's fine, and everybody's busy, and I understand that, but it just, when I read it, there's no way that statement is legal. There's nothing in that that tells me that they're following the Drainage Act. So they just need to clean up the wording in the future.
John Andrews, I would agree with Dennis. I think we should send a little letter back to Mr. Clutterbuck to specify more. I've seen this before in some of his reports.
Yes. Yes, I have too, John Andrews and Dennis. I've seen it too. And I think at times we go overboard on some of it.
Okay, so just as a clarification, what I can do is I can informally speak to the planner on behalf of Land Division Committee, if you'd like, just to let them know that the committee would like to see some refined wording when it comes to conditions related to the drainage requirements. And hopefully that helps.
I think we'd even be, with the experience we've got around the table, we'd even be, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, we'd be willing to help out with that wording and, come up with something that makes sense and is easy for the drainage superintendent. And it's just, and easy for us so that when we see it, we understand it a bit more. So certainly Nancy, yes, contact them, but if there's anything we can do to help out so that it helps us interpret some of the words of the Drainage Act, then I think we'd be willing to do that too.
Any further questions?
Through you, Mr. Chair, if you'd like, if there's no further questions, I can go through the comments received.
Yes, please.
Okay, so from the Township of Southwold, the Council of the Township of Southwold recommended approval to the County of Elgin Land Division Committee of the proposed severance for E821, subject to the following conditions: that the proposed retained parcel be rezoned, that a new septic system be installed for the dwelling on the proposed severed parcel, that the municipal water connection has been installed for the proposed severed parcel, the dwelling has been connected to the municipal water service and payment therefore, drainage reapportionment and payment thereof, that a mutual drain agreement be provided, that all financial obligations to the Township of Southwold be paid in, that an electronic copy of the registered survey has been provided to the township, and that the solicitor provides an undertaking that a copy of the registered deed for the severed parcel, once the transaction has occurred, will be provided to the township. The next comments were from the Lower Thames Conservation Authority. They had no conditions with respect to this particular severance. Please be advised that the above mentioned application has been reviewed by this office and staff have no objections to the proposal as submitted to this office. However, they did want to note that any future development on these lands will likely require a Conservation Authority permit. They also wanted to note that the issue of concern in this area is the Bowlby, Futcher, Shield Drain, the Casey Drain, and erosion potentially. So the County of Elgin engineer had no concerns with this application. And comments from the manager of planning for the County of Elgin. Is the opinion of staff that the proposal is consistent with the provincial policy statement. The property is designated agricultural on Schedule B land use in the Township of Southwold official plan. The hazard lands on Schedule B1 overlay apply to a portion of the proposed retained parcel. Subject lands are also zoned agricultural A1 and also are subject to the Conservation Authority regulation limits as shown on the Township of Southwold zoning bylaw. The zoning bylaw amendment is required. The subject site is within the agricultural designation of the Elgin County official plan. Staff support this application for consent and recommend the following conditions. A digital copy of the draft and final deposited reference plan be provided to the County of Elgin, and a solicitor undertaking to provide a copy of the registered deed for the severed parcel once completed. And those are all the conditions.
Any other comments from any member? Mover and seconder?
I'll move we
Rosemary?
accept this application.
Rosemary?
I'll second O'Grady.
Great. Okay, so in terms of E821, the recommendation is to approve the consent subject to the pre-mentioned conditions. We'll take a vote. John Andrews,
Yes.
Ian Fleck,
Yes,
Dennis O'Grady,
Yes.
Rosemary Kennedy,
Yes.
John Selden,
Yes.
Jack Van Castren,
Yes,
Doug Aldred.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Ian, did we lose you?
no, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Do you want to read out the?
Yes, I'm just going to do, the decision rendered today for this application will be circulated within 15 days after the notice. There is a 20-day appeal period from the giving of the notice of decision in which any person or public body may appeal the decision or any condition imposed. If no appeal is received within 20 days of the giving of the notice, the provincial consent becomes final. The provisional consent becomes final. The applicant has 1 year to meet the conditions imposed and submit the necessary documents for certification, or the consent will lapse and a new application will be required. Please leave the identification signs in place until the appeal period ends, after which they can be removed. If you would like to be notified of today's decision, please request a copy by contacting Nancy Pasto at npasto@algon.ca. A copy of that package is also available upon request and includes all correspondence received. Thank you.
Okay, we can start the next item as well. Ian, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Application E921, part of lot 28, concession NTR, Municipality of Southwold, municipal address 37298 Fingal Line. Take notice that an application has been made by Andy and Amber Wadsworth, 39306 Talbot Line, St. Thomas, for a consent pursuant to section 53 of the Planning Act, as amended, to sever lands municipally known as 37298 Fingal Line, Municipality of Southwold. The applicants propose to sever a parcel with a frontage of 128.68 meters, 422.04 feet along Fingal Line, a depth of 86.5 meters, 283.96 feet, and an area of 0.96 hectares, 2.38 acres, containing an existing house and a detached garage. The owners are retaining 18.6 hectares, 46 acres proposed to remain in agricultural use. The applicants also propose to create an easement having a width of 121.94 meters, 400.07 feet, by a depth of 6.1 meters, 20 feet, proposed to provide access to hydro lines and poles in favor of the severed lands. Applicant's agent and interested parties who wish to speak to this application, please introduce themselves to the committee.
Andy Wadsworth here again.
Thank you, Andy. You ready to proceed, Nancy?
Sure, I can proceed with the comments received for this application. So the Township of Southwold, the Council of the Township of Southwold recommended approval to the County Land Division Committee of the proposed severance application E921, subject to the following conditions: that the proposed severed and retained parcels be rezoned, that the municipal water connection has been installed for the proposed severed parcel the dwelling has been connected to the municipal water service and payment therefor, that a septic system assessment be conducted on the proposed severed parcel to ensure that the lands are suitable for a privately owned and operated septic system, drainage reapportionment and payment thereof, that all financial obligations to the Township of Southwold be paid in full, that an electronic copy of the registered survey has been provided to the township, and that the solicitor provides an undertaking that a copy of the registered deed for the severed parcel, once the transaction has occurred, will be provided to the township. The next comments received, I believe, were from Lower Thames Conservation Authority. Please be advised that the above mentioned application has been reviewed by this office, and staff have no objections to the proposal as submitted to this office. The Conservation Authority is responsible for addressing the natural hazard section of the provincial planning policy statement, as well as the Conservation Authority's development, interference with wetlands and alterations to shorelines and watercourses regulation. Under the Conservation Authorities Act, after reviewing our files and mapping systems, staff determined that the property in question is subject to the authority's development and alteration to waterways portion of the regulations. The issue of concern in this area is the Bowlby, Futcher, Shield Drain, the Casey Drain, and erosion. The County of Elgin engineer has no concerns with this application. And comments from the manager of planning for the County of Elgin. It is the opinion of staff that the proposal is consistent with the provincial policy statement. The subject site is within the agricultural designation of the Elgin County official plan. As detailed previously, the applicant has indicated that the retained lands are to be consolidated with other farmlands owned by the applicants. The proposed severed lands are substantially larger in size and will contain one single detached dwelling with a new municipal water connection and a new septic system. The ability of the parcel to be reduced is limited due to the setback of the existing home from Fingal Line. Staff therefore do support this application for consent and recommend the following conditions. A digital copy of the draft and final deposited reference plan be provided to the County of Elgin, and solicitor undertaking to provide copy of the registered deed for the severed parcel once completed. And those are all the conditions.
Any questions from any of the committee members?
Through you, Mr. Chair, it's John Selden. Mr.
Yes,
Wadsworth,
John.
Mr. Wadsworth, would you comment about the right of way that you're looking to, or the easement rather, that you're looking to have? It isn't indicated on either of your applications, and it seems in a quite a large easement.
Yeah, so what's happened is, I guess back in the day, they wouldn't let them put hydro down the edge of Fingal Line, and they've offset it back off the road approximately 25 meters approximately. So basically what that easement is, if you go, say north on Fingal Line, right between the two white buildings there in the picture,
Yes.
a hydro easement that runs all the way across there, right in over to the far side of the left page at Keith Lund's. There's transformers on all the poles in the middle of all those yards to supply power to both the log cabin and at Keith Lund's there. The White House does have a hydro pole right in front of it with a transformer on it. We've been trying to get a hold of Hydro One all through Christmas and into November. Because of COVID and everything that's going on there, we decided just to proceed with the hydro easement and give them access through that if there's any problems.
Okay, nothing back from Hydro then?
Nothing. I probably left 10 messages and then just got to the point we put the application in with this easement. So
Well, I appreciate the explanation. It just seems sort of an extraordinary request across two applications, but thank you for that. I appreciate it.
no problem.
For you, Mr. Chair, just so, Mr. Wadsworth, is this Hydro One or is it Integris? I'm not sure who does what in which municipality. So I know Integris provides local distribution and hydro distribution. So I'm wondering if Integris is in this municipality or not. Do you know?
It is Hydro One. We had an issue with the transformer at the log cabin and it was Hydro One trucks out to it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, O'Grady here. I've got a couple questions. Mr. Wadsworth, thanks. I'm not I'm in favor of the application. I just got a couple of questions based on the air photo, and I understand it may be an out-of-date air photo. And Mr. Chairman, I forgot to ask this question about the Severance E21, so if you'll indulge me, I'm not going to hold anything up. But in the air photo, they showed the Severance line going right through some buildings. Are those buildings no longer there?
Correct. If you go to the E8 dash 21,
Yeah.
the building in the northwest corner there is gone. I don't know what's right at the S in the Severance on the picture. That's nothing. It's not a building anymore. It's gone.
Okay.
Um,
And I thought that's what happened, and I just wanted to make sure because as we had earlier, sometimes the dimensions have to change, and I want to make sure we don't, or you are not forced into making a change in dimensions. And my second question is I was just curious on E921 with that big house. How come you didn't move the Severance right over to that tree line and include the tree line?
I would really like to do that. I was told the maximum we could do at the township office was, or at the township Severance was 2.3 acres.
Yes.
The septic bed is in the northeast side of that. It's actually just right 10 feet was the 10 feet was that in from the property line. So that's as close as I could get it. We tried to move the west side property line over, and they wanted that to follow the far side. And basically after that, it was following the drip line of the trees. I'd like to see it inside those trees, but this is what we're told we have to do. So
I understand that. Yeah. So what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to be chopping down those trees to work the land, or what are you going to be doing?
there is potential of that. Yeah, we can get in there and work. I guess there was an old barn foundation in there. The barn had apparently caught fire. So we've got a little bit of that to clean up. It is outside of that E8 21 and is on the farm property. So I've got to get that all cleaned up before we can really do anything.
So approximately
Sure.
how much, go ahead, Dennis, if you're not.
No, I'm
You
just going
done,
to say it
Dennis?
is a dilemma for sure because we've had lots of issues with sizes of severances, and we've had some. The one coming up in was it Malahide comes to mind on that odd-shaped parcel where we did make an exception for a larger piece of land, but it is a dilemma that we wrestle with. So I'll leave it at that.
Go ahead, Duke.
Yeah, so between that tree line and that property, approximately how many meters or feet are in there?
I believe it was right the same almost size as that E8 dash 21. Again, we were limited to the township and what they would let us cut off that. I believe it was 1.2 acres was the maximum we could throw in there. So we went off the existing fences just to make it easy to follow through. And that's exactly how it worked out.
So you don't know the depth, the width between those trees and that east lot line of,
I do, but I don't have it in front of me. I believe it's 80 meters by, I don't have it here. It's basically the same size lot as what that E8 21 is. It might be another 2 meters deeper.
If you look on the, Mr. Chairman, if you look on the sketch a little bit further down from the air photo, it appears to be 56.9 meters between the
Yeah.
the
Yes.
current severance line and the E8 severance line, and the trees split that almost in half. So it appears to be, give or take, 30 meters between the tree line and the east, or sorry, the west lot line of E8.
yeah, and so that means it's gonna be maybe 15 meters between the east lot line of E9 and the trees. So it's a pretty narrow strip.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just in my opinion, it's an awful difficult strip for a farmer to farm. That's all I got to say.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not going to, I'm not quite sure what to do because this is it's very similar to others, but it is different as well.
I think I'd like to say one thing. we're gonna hear a lot more about the size of severances. I understand there's meetings in Toronto right now, and they want to reduce the size even smaller because of the amount, and I think, Doug, you've seen it in the papers, the amount of land that's been lost.
Yeah.
And they're just very, very concerned, and I know a lot of municipalities in southwest Ontario are going to this.
Mr. Chair, just through you, one other thing, Ian, you've commented a number of times about the cost of taxes on the extra large size of
Yes,
lot as well. And
yes.
surely, now, perhaps for Mr. Wadsworth, that's not a concern, but maybe selling it later on might make it difficult, or for whoever's going to be in that, or am I off base, Ian?
No, we have one that was just severed 2 years ago, and it's in Doug's area. And the taxes, I understand, are going to be over $6,500 this year on a house in the country on 2 acres or something, 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
And we've got 1 to 4 acres with a new house on it, and they're 8,000. People can't afford that, and the farmers don't want to give up the land, a lot of them. Rosemary?
I'd like to see us take it around the tree line and add that to the severance, because I think it's a natural severance.
Well, I don't think, I mean, the township have brought it, and
I
that's
know
one of
it's
their.
hard. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, would
The
it
rest of the
be,
committee.
I understand all the dilemmas out there. Would it be an option for the landowner? And Mr. Wadsworth, it's up to you, but you could long-term lease a stretch of land back to that main house, 20-year lease, and deal with it 20 years from now.
Yeah, there's a lot of options we can do. To go in and cut the trees down right now, it is good to have trees stand on farms, and I'm not against leaving them. But I mean, if it's going to be a condition to the severance, we have spaded a bunch of trees out and moved them around. I have put them in the front of the property there, and to spade out some of these bigger ones so they're not going to waste isn't hard either. But it comes at a pretty high cost.
Mr. Chair?
Yes,
I have a lot of sympathy for the idea of what Rosemary suggested, but it just doesn't seem judicious for the Land Division Committee to suggest an even larger lot
no.
than what's going to be there already. I think that would send a very bad signal. I really like the idea that Mr. Wadsworth would have it, but as an LDC committee member, we're sending the wrong signal.
Mr. Chair, I have a question or a comment, maybe. Just looking at the sketch that's on the screen right now.
Yes,
It appears to me if that row of trees is removed and the area is cleaned up, it's just opened it up for another severance in between again anyway, right? In the future. 5 years, 10 years down the road, somebody comes and says, hey, we're just gonna infill. There's two severances there. We're gonna apply for a severance in the middle too. So eventually, all the land's gonna be used up as severed property anyway. My opinion.
Not if it's A2, I don't think. Excuse me, Mr. Chair, sorry.
go ahead, John.
Well, through you, Nancy, am I incorrect? The retained property would become rezoned as an A2 and they wouldn't be able to put
Severed.
They wouldn't be able to sever another lot?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, one of the conditions of the severance for Southwold is to remove the ability to have another dwelling unit on the retained land. So they wouldn't be able to get a building permit in order to build another home. Certainly nothing prevents somebody from applying for a consent, but they wouldn't meet then the surplus farm dwelling policy. So therefore it would be a recommendation typically from staff for refusal.
Although
Further comments?
Although on that comment, we have seen multiple infill lots all throughout Elgin County on prime agricultural land that have been supported by the municipalities.
It's not now
So-
though, Dennis. We've had 3 turned down in the last month. They won't let them go for severance. If they got an if they've changed the rating now, they've got to go to some legal process through a court or something to get that taken off. Right, right, Nancy?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair, if it's been subject of a previous application, for instance, for a severance, and they've already severed a surplus farm dwelling, then they have also gone through the zoning bylaw amendment process, which has restricted the ability to get another permit or to build another dwelling on that retained agricultural lands.
That's right.
In order to consider being able to get a permit in the future, they would need to go through that rezoning process. So if that's the case, the local municipality, yes, they're the ones who deal with it, but it also, the county would be notified, and certainly if there was any change to that, there'd be considerations or comments from the county as well. So, but the whole point of this exercise is you have a surplus farm dwelling, but you want to retain the agricultural lands for future use. You can certainly do that, but you don't have the ability to continue to build houses and sever them off every few years, basically. That's not the point of the surplus farm dwelling severance policy, so.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion so we can maybe focus debate a little bit more. If that's okay with you.
Moved by Dennis,
I'll second the motion.
second
I
by
just
Jack.
have sorry, and my preamble is for making that motion is that for the size of agricultural land, certainly, but it doesn't take away the options of the current landowner, Mr. Wordsworth, to decide how he wants to deal with that particular parcel of land. It then becomes his decision to make. If he wishes to farm it, to take the trees down, if he wishes to use various land agreements to, whether they be easements or rentals or long-term rentals, he has those decisions to make as a landowner. And we leave it up to him to decide. So my motion is as written.
Okay. Sorry, so who seconded that?
Jack,
Jack Van Castren.
Okay, so the motion is to approve the severance application as noted in the application
Presented.
and the consent application. And with the conditions as noted as well
Yes,
previously. Okay, we'll take a vote. John Andrews,
Yes.
Ken Fleck,
yes,
Dennis O'Grady,
Yes.
Rosemary Kennedy,
Yes.
John Selden,
Yes,
Jack Van Castren,
yes,
Doug Aldred. Motion carries 7-0.
okay, the decision rendered today for this application will be circulated within 15 days after the notice. There is 20-day appeal period from the beginning of the notice of decision in which any person or public body may appeal the decision or on any condition imposed. If no appeal is received within 20 days of the giving of the notice, the provisional consent becomes final. The applicant has 1 year to meet the conditions imposed and submit the necessary documents for certification, or the consent will lapse and a new application. Please leave the identification signs in place until the appeal period ends, after which they can be removed. If you would like to be notified of today's decision, please request a copy by contacting Nancy Pasto at annpasto@algon.ca. A copy of the comment package is also available upon request and includes all correspondence received. Thank you.
And we can start the next item if you'd like.
Yes, application number E1021, Lot 8, Concession 5, Municipality of Southwold. Municipal address is 35491 Stafford Line. Take notice that an application has been made by Fife Farms Limited, 37846 Talbot Line, Shedden, for a consent pursuant to section 53 of the Planning Act 1990, as amended to sever lands municipally known as 35491 Stafford Line, Municipality of Southwold. The applicants propose to sever a parcel with a frontage of 61 meters, 200.13 feet along Stafford Line by a depth of 126.5 meters, 415.04 feet on an area of 0.77 hectares, 1.9 acres, containing an existing house and a detached garage. The owners are retaining 32.4 hectares, 80.06 acres, proposed to remain in agricultural use. The applicants have also proposed to create an easement having a width of 7.5 meters, 24.61 feet, by a length of 30 meters, 98.43 feet, proposed to provide access to water lines in favor of the severed lands. Applicant's agent and interested parties who wish to speak to this application, please introduce themselves to the committee.
Brad Fife.
Welcome, Brad.
Bought this. Yeah, thanks. My family bought this property last summer, and the house is not needed. So our intention is to sever it and sell it and keep farming the land. Move the silos and the livestock buildings. And the easement for the water line, it isn't on that map right there, but the water line is a municipal straight in from Fifth Line from the.
Yes.
And that's why the easement's required, just so that the house owner has access to that if needed. So.
Any questions from the committee members?
Mr. Chair, what about size again? 0.77 hectares? Are we just stuck because it's so far back on the lot?
1.9 acres.
Yeah, 0.77 hectares.
Yeah, 1.9 acres, not quite 2 acres.
Apparently that size is we're pretty well stuck with that because it's set so far back on the lot. Is that correct?
Yes.
It is up quite a ways.
Mr. Chairman, I've just got a question on across the road a little bit to the south. I'm just going by the air photo, and I've not seen the site. That's not a working farm? Because it looks like there's a round liquid manure storage tank there on the air photo. Is it an operational farm, or is it just a separate house? So across the road to the east. Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, please. Just Stafford Line, just a little bit, 100
So
yards south.
That's a 1 acre lot. It's a severed house. The round that you're looking at is just the tree line is kind of shaped, kind of like a moon.
That's severed.
That's a severed 1 acre lot already. So.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Through you, Mr. Chair, would you like me to go through the comments then what we've received?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the Township of Southwold, Council of the Township of Southwold, regarding the proposed severance application file E1021 for a surplus farm dwelling, hereby waives the requirement for an environmental impact study on the proposed retained parcel. And the Council of the Township of Southwold recommends approval to the County of Elgin Land Division Committee of the proposed severance application E1021, subject to the following conditions: that the proposed severed and retained parcels be rezoned, that a septic system assessment be conducted on the proposed severed parcel to ensure that the lands are suitable for a privately owned and operated septic system, that a livestock facility and 2 silos located on the proposed retained parcel be removed to the satisfaction of the township chief building official, drainage reapportionment and payment thereof, that a mutual drain agreement be provided, that all financial obligations to the township of Southwold be paid in full, that any electronic copy of the registered survey has been provided to the township, and that the solicitor provides an undertaking that a copy of the registered deed for the severed parcel, once the transaction has occurred, will be provided to the township. Comments as well. From the Lower Thames Conservation Authority, please be advised that the above mentioned application has been reviewed by this office and staff have no objection to the proposal as submitted to this office. An application from this office is required prior to any works, construction, alteration taking place within the regulated area. From the county engineer, this is not on a county road, so there was no comments. And from the manager of planning for the county of Elgin, it is the opinion of staff that the proposal is consistent with the provincial policy statement. The subject site is within the agricultural designation of the Elgin County official plan. The applicant has indicated that the retained lands are to be consolidated with other farmlands owned by the applicants. The proposed severed lands are substantially larger in size and will contain 1 single detached dwelling and detached garage with an existing municipal water connection and septic system. The ability of the parcel to be reduced is limited due to the setback of the existing home from Stafford Line. Staff support this application for consent and recommend the following conditions. A digital copy of the draft and final deposited reference plan be provided to the county of Elgin, and a solicitor undertaking to provide a copy of the registered deed for the severed parcel once completed. And those are all the conditions.
Any comments, further comments from the committee? Do a mover and seconder?
John Andrews moves.
Moved by John Andrews,
I'll second it.
seconded by Doug Aldred.
Okay, we'll take a vote. So the recommendation is to approve application E10-21, subject to the conditions as noted. We'll take a vote. John Andrews,
Yes.
Ian Fleck,
Yes.
Dennis O'Grady,
Yes.
Rosemary Kennedy,
Yes.
Don Selden,
Yes.
Jack Van Castren,
Yes,
Doug Aldred. Motion carries 7-0.
The decision rendered today for this application will be circulated within 15 days after the notice. There is a 20-day appeal period from the giving of the notice of decision in which any person or public body may appeal the decision or any condition imposed. If no appeal is received within 20 days of the giving of the notice, the provisional consent becomes final. The applicant has 1 year to meet the conditions imposed and submit the necessary documents for certification, or the consent will lapse and a new application will be required. Please leave the identification signs in place until the appeal period ends, after which they can be removed. If you would like to be notified of today's decision, please request a copy by contacting Nancy Pasto at annpasto@elgin.ca. A copy of the comment package is also available upon request and includes all correspondence received. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay, well, there's nothing else, so.
Any further business, Nancy?
I do not have anything else.
So the 24th is the next meeting?
24th is the next meeting.
That is correct. And what we'll do is we will schedule the official plan review discussion at the beginning of that meeting. So it is likely that we'll push back the other applications to after 10 a.m. So we'll have ample time to discuss the official plan review and the Bill 88 as well.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you to all the members. Have a safe trip wherever you're going.
Okay, good meeting, Mr. Chair.
Meeting's adjourned.
Thanks,
All right.
Mr. Chair.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Can you send an email to Whit to tell him to stop streaming the Facebook?
So I'll call Ollie quickly.
Yeah, just ask them to stop streaming if they can.
Get yours the 15th of March. We can start booking it.
I got it muted, but I thought it said there's something still here.
Well, you'd be the one that's muted.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Ollie, it's Dawn calling from the council chambers. Can you just double check and make sure that we're not streaming to Facebook anymore? I sent a message to Whit, but I'm not sure if he's still in court, so.